Hey everybody, welcome to Beacon of Speech. I am Fred Hunt. Across the table from me is the amazing Ted Coley. Hey Ted Coley.
Hey, long time,
Yeah, I
you
know it's
know?
been a long time. That's another thing that's been bothering me. I feel like we haven't been doing it enough. You know what I mean? And
hmm
that's my fault because I got sick and my voice got shredded. And then last week was Thanksgiving. So I feel like the Browns, we've only had one podcast in the last three
Yeah, we
weeks.
had a bye week.
Yeah, we had a bye week. Do do we still get paid? Do we still get paid the same amount of money
We
that?
still get the same amount of money no
Yay!
matter
We
what.
don't lose any money.
There's,
That's awesome. All right, welcome to Beacon of Speech. What is Beacon of Speech? Well, it's selling freedom of speech to everyone. Are you buying Beacon of Speech today?
yeah, I'll take some of that.
Yay! If I had a copy of the First Amendment, I would hold it up. There is no cameras for Beacon of Speech. Maybe one day, which we'll get into later. Our whole show is, and I'm reading from the same sheet that I read off of every week. Free speech is under constant assault in America today. The problem is it's coming from two places that's very hard to fight. From the left, PC madness, and from the right, corporations. Boo. The concept that we're all in this together is lost in America. America is supposed to lead by example, not force its will on other countries. What are limits to free speech? Pure evil. Evil is debatable. Pure evil is absolute. Like it or not, a lot of the Constitution is based on vague Christian principles. There is a God, just unclear over which religious entities have the correct message. Now, I'm taking the sheet and I'm throwing it off to the side. Now, usually, every episode of Beacon of Speech, we talk about how freedom of speech is under assault in America today. But we are going to go to Fred's job interview. Would you like to hear that?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yes. Basically, the last 2 weeks when we weren't doing stuff, I was working on two things. Number one, I was working on a magazine article to promote the movie. I did a movie last year called Blasphemers, right? And I wrote an article for a magazine, and tomorrow I'm going to send it in. They're going to say whether they like it, want to publish it, or whether they want to just burn it in their garbage can, which is where most of my stuff ends up. And then the other thing that I want to do is I want to send out Beacon of Speech 7, which is what we're on now, to an internet radio station and say, please hire us, right? Well, again, I'm a hack. You're not really a hack. You used to be in a band. You know what you're doing. You know about headsets and recording and stuff.
Someone.
So I'm going to do my interview, but instead of interviewing me, because nobody really wants to talk to me, I send stuff into space, I never get responses. People are like, you are insane. So this is my pitch. For the short term, what I want to do is I want to do Beacon of Speech like on a Sunday night, because that's when this internet station has, open area, right? They have open time on their slot.
This is your list of demands, or
This is my list of demands. I demand. Which rock band was it that they didn't want brown M and M's. They only wanted green
oh,
M
it
and
was
M's.
Van Halen, wasn't it?
I think it was Van Halen. We only want certain colored M and M's. No, I'm not looking for money. I'm looking for a time slot. I'm looking for a vehicle to spread our message. Now we're not like Pastor Vernon that we were talking about earlier. We are not charging. Now my book, you can buy my book, American Suicide, online. I believe it's $1.99. Okay, and it's a good read if you like lots of swearing. Okay, but Pastor Vernon, all his books are $25. He's making a lot more money than I am.
Just out of curiosity, how many books have you sold?
I think
I
22 the last time I looked.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So maybe a wealthy benefactor, bought them and then they used them as firewood.
So
But
it's been online. You've had the ability to buy it ever since it came out,
ever
right?
since it came out in 2011, yes. And I got one check for residuals. I think the check was for like $15.
Wow.
Yeah, because I had to claim it on my taxes. It was like 2012, and then nobody bought it afterwards. But in my book's defense, I haven't promoted it because I was working on the movie, blah blah blah. But this is what I want. I want to take Beacon of Speech. I want to move it to Sunday nights. Now, it would only be a part-time job. It would only be 1 day a week, so I'd have to keep my awesome day job that I love so much. Okay? But long term, what I want to do is take Beacon of Speech and make it like a weekend entity, either through syndication or, I'm going to ask you a personal question. You've seen Me TV, right? You know how they they rerun Hogan's Heroes and Gilligan's Island and all that other crap.
Yeah, I watch it almost every day.
Do you really?
Yeah.
What's your favorite show on Me TV?
Well, see, I get Me TV and Antenna TV. I actually probably watch Antenna TV more.
Well, either way, they're the same thing. They're two. It's like the difference between Channel 5 and Channel 8.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I think they've been running like Happy Days and Laverne and Shirley. I'm not saying I watch that all the time, but I have watched it recently.
But fair enough.
They're all old shows.
Right.
I mean.
So long term, in order to be viable where we'd work full time there, what you'd have to do is you'd either have to syndicate the show on weekends, like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then make it a nighttime show. If you syndicate to a bunch of stations, you can make it a full-time job. Or you can go to, there's literally 1,000 stations. On Me TV, I watch Sven Gulli on Saturday night.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I love Sven Gulli, okay? But how much are they spending on that Sven Gulli show, right? All you need to do is find one partner that says, we like your idea of Beacon of Speech. We're going to put the two of you and Joe, the empty chair, who's coming. He's training. He's on his way. So we haven't lost Joe. He's on his way. But
he's training for the show.
Yes. But, and I hate to use the term thinking outside the box because we're supposed to be thinking inside the box. But thinking outside the box, if you could just get with a station like Me TV, who's looking for programming at low cost, and then you syndicate it across, Sven Gulli's in Chicago.
Now, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Sven Gulli, is that going on now? Is that like a live show?
Yeah, it's a live show.
Or is that reruns?
For the last 25, 30 years, because I was going to buy Sven Gulli rubber chicken, right? And I'm like, wow, Sven Gulli's awesome. It reminds me of Superhost. It reminds me of Goulardi, Big Chuck and Little John, the throwback days. Right? And it's nice to turn on Sven Gulli and watch Abbott and Costello, versus the Mummy or whatever. But
where is he out of? Chicago?
Chicago. Yeah. Technically, he's from, I think, Berwyn, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago. But the whole point is, all you have to do is match one thing. It's just like in the NFL. 32 teams don't have to like you. Only one team has to like you. So in order to be a viable entity, all you got to do is find one partner who's looking for a low budget, thing to throw on TV. Here's our idea. If you want, I can say freedom of speech, rubber chicken, and throw the rubber chicken at you. But that's where I want to go with it. We boo corporations, but you can't avoid corporations. They're everywhere.
I've heard that.
Yeah. The deal is you don't want to be under the corporation's foot. You want to, dealing with the corporation is dealing with the devil. You have to make your deal and see if you can live with the deal. And it was Jay Leno, and I think maybe I said this in the first episode. Jay Leno said, in show business, everybody gets screwed. Okay, nobody doesn't get screwed. In show business, everybody gets screwed. Just make sure you get your pile of money before they screw you.
Yeah.
Just like all managers are meant to be fired, blah, blah, blah. All the idioms and all the sayings that go along with it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape the show tonight, make it Beacon number 7. It's already on YouTube. We already talked about this 100 times. And then when I send in the resume, put us on Sunday nights, listen to our pitch the first 5 or 10 minutes of Beacon of Speech 7. So that's my pitch. Do you think I did good enough? You think somebody would hire me, the guy, since he's not looking at me?
I liked it.
Yeah, but now you're making the motion like I got to come over there and do sexual favors for you. So is that one of those things that it's a catch-22? We'll give you a ride to Texas, but it's going to cost you, and your ass is going to hurt when you get there?
I'm officially lost now.
I'm just I'm just picking on you.
Took an ugly turn.
Yeah, I think things got real ugly real fast. All right. But yeah, I don't have a freedom of speech is under constant assault because I'm feeling the Holy Spirit today.
This is another turn.
A turn. We're taking hard lefts. Well, first of all,
can you elaborate?
First of all, we're talking about freedom of. We always talk about freedom of speech. The two things that have been amazing to me, and we'll tie it back into to me, is in the last 2 weeks, the Pope kissed a baby, right? Pope's kissed hundreds of babies.
I heard about that. Didn't the baby have a brain tumor?
Baby had a brain tumor.
Yeah.
Pope kissed the baby. Brain tumor's gone. Now.
Completely gone.
Yeah, completely gone.
Wow.
Now, I did not hear that on CNN, didn't hear it on Cleveland.com, didn't hear it on, I think I read it on The Blaze.
So do you think if the Pope kissed my head, I would start growing hair again?
I don't know. We got to get close to the Pope. I guess you wouldn't need Propecia and you'd be all set. But yeah, so you would think that the good news would be all over the place. You know what I mean? And just like we always say, what is news? What is the lead story? You think the Pope carrying a baby would be the headline on every, not, oh, well, you know what, the Pope kissed a baby and the thing's gone, right?
But you know what I immediately think when I hear that?
What's that?
If that really happened, why isn't the Pope doing that full time? You know what I'm saying? Why isn't he going to every hospital and kissing every person?
Yeah. I'm sorry, my cough.
I mean, what could be more important than that?
Yeah. I'm sorry, my cough is still lingering from when we had to cancel the other show. So I apologize. I didn't get the mic covered.
And I'm actually not being a smart aleck. I really mean that.
Yeah, if I see what you're saying. If you're the Pope and you could heal babies, you go to Children's Hospital in Italy, just line them up. Go to Children's Hospital in France, line them up. Go to Children's Hospital in the UK, line them up, and you're good to go.
Yep.
Right? And you're the baby saving machine. You know, bang, 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 bang. And so I'm like, that's valid. How did this baby get picked? But if we were in PSR and we're learning about Catholicism, we would learn you do not question God, right? But it goes back to my book.
I'm questioning the Pope, though.
Oh, well, but the Pope is the emissary of God.
He's not God.
Well, that is true because the Pope is... Well, it goes back... and, you know, I brought up my book right away, right? And usually I don't do that either, so I apologize. But in the book, and, you know, if you don't read it, I'm not spoiling it. You know, it's already 4 years old. You know, the guy shakes his fist at God. He's like, I demand answers, right? Well, that guy's going right to hell. Okay? So it's the same thing. It's like, I would think it'd be the lead story on everything. Now, which brings me to part 2 of it, is... There's hosts that are bleeding in Utah. Did you read about the bleeding hosts?
Hosts like communion?
Yeah, communion hosts.
No, I didn't hear about that.
Well, that's the whole thing. You would think that's the lead story, right? But no, the lead story is it's Thanksgiving or whatever. And in Utah, somewhere in Salt Lake City, there's a Catholic church, and they have hosts, and the host bled for 3 days. Okay, now, that's quite a miracle, right? Now, didn't hear it on anything. I think I saw it on the Blaze.
I figured Salt Lake City was mainly Mormon.
Yeah, and that's what confused me too. I didn't even know there were any Catholics in there.
Yeah.
But again, let's say it was a scam. Okay. Now, the baby with the brain tumor, you can say, well, the brain tumor is shrinking because of this or whatever. In theory, you can if you pick it apart, you could explain it away. But the bleeding host, once it started bleeding, you know, it's not like you got David Blaine in there. You know, it's hard to make the host bleed for 3 days. You know what I mean? There's a sleight of hand. But again, it's not a major news story. I think I read it in a tabloid or something. You know what I mean? And then I think I saw it on the Blaze, and I'm like, holy cow, how come this isn't the big news of the day? You know what I mean? The big news of the day is somebody got shot, somebody got cut, and we don't have any, you know, bleeding host news. Right?
Yeah, I did not hear that one.
Yeah, so the host was bleeding, and again, once it started bleeding, they didn't hide it. They put it in the cup, and for 3 days it bled. Well, that's the transubstantiation. Oh, geez, I know I'm butchering that word. It's supposed to be, you know, Christ becomes the bread, right? So that's your whole rationale behind it.
Yeah.
That's why the host would bleed. But I've never even heard that. Like I've heard of the stigmata, where your hands bleed, where the hands of Christ.
Yeah.
Right? But I've never, and there's a great song by Ministry called Stigmata, which is very blasphemous, okay? But that's neither here nor there. But I never heard of a bleeding host, like even throughout time. It's not one of the miracles, you know what I mean? Wine in the, or water in the wine, blah, 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 blah. Bleeding host I'm not familiar with. So I would think it would be all over. Well, why aren't we touting this as news?
I don't know.
See, we went straight from freedom of speech to religion. How come ISIS doesn't have any miracles? Like, you know what's a miracle? That they didn't get their oil wells bombed. that their oil wells are still able to sell oil and make money.
Well, I heard that we wanted to bomb the trucks earlier, but we were afraid of killing the truck drivers, which I don't know. I don't know how much sense that makes.
Well, me and you, we worked together for almost 15 years now, right? And we worked with somebody who was in the Army who was a truck driver. I'm going to cover them, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so we are basically saving Matt's life, right? By not bombing it. Not the real Matt, but the Islamic Matt.
Yeah.
So it's like saving the truck driver's life. Well, that we are true humanitarians. You know what?
Well, ISIS controls those trucks.
Right.
They control the oil in that area.
Right.
Right. And I guess we're afraid that, air quotes, civilians are driving the trucks.
Right.
It's like, I don't know.
Well, no. Here.
I guess we have to wait until the guy parks the truck and then gets out of it. Then we can bomb.
Are we gonna drop pamphlets? Please get out of the truck, and we're gonna write them. We're gonna write them in what's the language of Turkey? Turkish? Is it just Turkish?
It works for me.
Yeah.
Farsi? I don't know.
So whatever. We're gonna drop the pamphlets. Get out of your truck so we can bomb you. Okay, I'm out of here.
Farsi is Iran, right?
I'm not sure. Yeah, see, me and you, we're playing word association. We're throwing each other off. But no, we were talking about lead stories on the news, right? And last week, this is what I wanted to talk about, and it's already a week old, so, it's slow, right? Last Tuesday, I wrote it down, okay? I was looking at the computer, and Turkey bombed Russia, okay? And to be honest with you, it freaked the crap out of me, okay?
Oh, when they shot that plane.
Yeah, they shut down the plane. And why did it freak me out? Because I know a little bit about the world, unlike, people who are watching Kim Kardashian, right? Turkey is a part of NATO. So when Turkey shoots down the Russian jet, then that's like America shooting down the Russian jet because we're all NATO.
Yeah.
Putin, and again, we're back to Russia like we always are because I got a big infatuation with it apparently. But, so we are NATO. So Putin doesn't see Turkey shooting down the jet. He's like, NATO shot down the jet, and we're NATO. And that's why it's so dangerous. Now, I thought it was the most dangerous thing that happened in a long time, maybe since World War II or the Cold War, that Turkey shot down the Russian jet. Okay? Same time, 6:20. Okay? Number one story on CNN is that Chicago cop murder. Okay? Chicago cop murder is... And now I watched the whole video, so I'm not going to tell you the clip. I'm going to show you the whole... I'm going to tell you the whole 4-minute video or whatever.
Of the murder?
Yeah, the black teen... Hearing about it on the news, I thought that the cop just randomly came up and shot the kid. right?
Yeah.
Well, the kid is walking in the middle of the street with a knife, okay? Now, if I'm walking in the middle of the street as a white man without a knife, cops are going to pull me over and say, what the hell are you doing in the middle of a street walking on the double yellow line? Number two, if I have a knife walking up and down the double yellow line, I'm in big effing trouble, right? Now, I didn't see that in any of the news reports. All I saw was cop kills kid in Chicago, right? So I actually watched a video for myself, and I'm like, well, they didn't randomly pick him out, like, oh, I don't like that kid over there, right? And so I watched a video, and, you know, he's got the knife, they pull up, and they shoot him. And they shot him twice, and, you know, that's fine. But then they shot him the 14 more times while he's laying down. Yeah, you probably shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Okay? But they did not randomly pick a victim. You know what I mean? Like, hey, look, I don't like the looks of that kid in that yard. He was what? Under his feet is the double yellow line of the highway.
Yeah.
Right? And I didn't know that until I watched a video for myself. I did not know that. And he had a knife in his hand, and I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
And so I had to watch the video. And in America, okay, the number one news story wasn't the Pope saved the baby, the bleeding host, which is good news, you know, raising. But, you know, nobody reports good news, right? The number one story.
There's no market for that.
No, we can't sell good news. We can only sell bad news. But at the same exact time, on Russia, RT.com, right? Guess what the number one story on RT was?
About the plane.
Yeah, Turkey shut down our plane. They're gonna pay. We're gonna put. Russia's gonna put our foot up their asses, right? Because they don't f around, and that's what's important in the world. Is, you know, that's the Archduke Ferdinand moment.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of. You know, World War I.
And you can go back, and in the grand scheme of things, now let's go with the point of view that the cop should not have shot that kid 16 times. Okay? Now, that's true. Okay? But the kid was not an innocent victim. The cop was wrong and the kid was wrong. Right? Well, do you deserve to pay for your life for being wrong? Well, you shouldn't be waving a knife in the middle of the road. Right? So there's degrees of, you know, separation. Why is that the number one story in America? Because it's all about, like you said, moving product, a narrative, bad news sells. Half the people in America don't even know where Turkey is. I saw a bunch of memes, you know, where Putin's going to eat turkey for Thanksgiving. And then there's a picture of the president of Turkey, not real turkey, right? And that's why, you know, we talk about freedom of speech. You know, people are like, well, you don't care about what's going on in Chicago. We have talked... just like we talk about Russia every episode, we talk about Chicago every episode.
Well, you know what's funny? I'm going to mention a radio show host.
Okay, go ahead.
Who, Michael Savage.
Right.
He said that he goes to, what is it, RT? Is that Russia Today?
Yeah, Russia Today.
He said he's been getting a lot of news from Russia Today lately.
Yes, because CNN, USA Today, and like I said, I like them, but like USA Today, we talk about how much we love music, me and you all the time. You love classic rock. I like, right now, my favorite thing is probably post-metal, yours classic rock, right? Mm-hmm. But I go to USA Today, and they're promoting Adele, they're promoting something called Dad Rock, like every week. Like, listen to our podcast, Dad Rock. And then they're like, oh, that Rumors album was great. I'm like, oh, this is the USA Today. And they're like, oh, did you hear about that, you know, that underrated Third Eye Blind album in 1992 or whatever? I hate, number one, I hate Third Eye Blind. I'm whispering. I hate Third Eye Blind. Okay? But the point is it at the end of the day, it's almost not about news. It's like about some news or about the news here, there, and everywhere, and it's not about what it's supposed to be about. And like I said, I'm not here to do a commercial for RT because that's slanted as hell. You know, oh, my phone's ringing. Do I have a phone? Ted, you're gonna have to take over for me. So,
Okay, so Fred is frantically looking for his phone.
oh, oh, I'll have to call her back. Okay, go ahead. So I'm frantically looking for my phone.
Okay, he was. It looked like he was having a fit.
Well, no, because I got.
He was frisking himself.
Yes, it was not a good visual, so I apologize to Ted. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets in my pants. I got my sweatshirt pocket that I always use, and then I have my 2 outdoor jacket pockets, and then my 2 indoor jacket, the inside of the jacket pockets. So I got 9 pockets, and the phone is ringing, and so that's why I'll text her back while we're going over a list. But
Is that your wife?
yeah. So I'm sure she's like you know, I saw something on the internet, and it was guys, when wives can't get a hold of you, the women automatically think that you're cheating, and the guys usually, picking up milk at the corner grocery store or whatever, something lame. So we're doing the webcast. But the point of the story, we were talking about Chicago, right? It seems like we're always talking about Chicago, we're always talking about Russia, but it seems like it keeps coming in the news. And now Spike Lee has got a new movie it's called Chirac, right? And it's all about the violence in Chicago, right? Well, apparently that's the flavor of the month, or flavor of the 2 months. Is the violence in Chicago really worse than the violence in LA or New York? You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It all has to do with a narrative, a story. You know what I mean? It's not about the real news per se. It's about moving an agenda. But RT is slanted towards, America sucks. It doesn't take any good stuff about America.
Mhm.
So I'm sure if the editor of the USA Today was here, I'm sure he'd be like, oh no, we're about all kinds of news, light news, dark news, and bringing everything to light. Get the hell out of my studio. I don't want to talk to that guy. I'm sorry, Ted's laughing at me because he doesn't know where to go with that.
No, I was just thinking, it's called Russia Today, right?
Yeah.
It's like a news agency or what?
Yeah, it's basically the Russian CNN.
Okay.
And because
is this relatively new? Are they?
Yes. Well, it's relatively new in the United States. There's always been a Russian TV channel. It's state-funded TV, right? But it hasn't always been in America. I have RT on my dish system right next to Al Jazeera, right next to The Blaze, right next to CNN, right next to MSNBC, right next to CNBC. There's a block
you have Dish, right?
I have Dish.
And you have like the lowest.
I have the second lowest.
Oh,
the
okay.
lowest thing is like 100. The lowest thing is like.
Isn't it like 55 channels?
Yeah,
or
it's
something?
like 50 channels, but the 50 channels, it's a scam because. Hey Joe, how you doing?
Oh.
The lowest is like a scam because it's 50 channels, and like 30 of them are Home Shopping Network, the Mineral Network, and then the God Channel, 700 Club Channel, whatever that is. All that crap, right? So the next lowest level is the one that has like 12 news stations.
Okay.
So now let me
because I don't have any of those. Like Al Jazeera or.
Well, here's my pitch. Ted, get Dish and you can watch Al Jazeera TV.
Wow.
Yay, aren't you excited? So let me interrupt myself. The wonderful Joe Kaufman is here. Hi, Joe Kaufman.
Oh, I'm eating something.
He comes in the studio and he starts eating. Don't you know how things work around here? I'm complaining and moaning and bitching about everything. Oh, wait. Joe is here. He's got the bell.
No, I don't know how it works. How does it work?
How does what work?
I don't know. You said something how it works.
Oh, you know how it works. I just come in and I bitch and moan for a half an hour, and then you just come in and just jump right in. So you're good.
Oh, thanks.
Does that make you feel better?
Yeah, I feel awesome.
It's always good to see you. How's life treating you?
Oh, just grand.
I never did ask Ted, and I apologize. Did you have a wonderful Thanksgiving? Did you think about the next episode of Beacon of Speech that we were going to be talking about?
No.
You did not think about us for 1 second. You did not say thank you, Lord, for letting Fred exist so I could do a webcast with him.
No, I was busy working.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did. You worked.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving,
And Saturday.
the Saturday after Thanksgiving,
Thursday,
and then you
Friday,
had
and
the
Saturday.
and then you had the option of having Sunday of Thanksgiving, but you chose to take that day off.
Yeah, I took that day off.
You're a good
I
man.
didn't want to work 2 weeks in a row.
Well, you don't enjoy working 2 weeks in a row?
I do, but your body kind of takes a beating.
How about you, Ted? Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it was pretty uneventful.
Well, that's good. Nobody got arrested. Nobody came to your house.
No,
Not this year.
no, it was almost non-existent.
Well, that's good. I was gonna say I went to my aunt's for Thanksgiving, and that was nice, but not everybody was able to get in from out of town, so that was nice. And then I went to the in-laws, and that was nice, and there was no real problems. It was nice, and I got fat. I honestly, I know this is gonna sound really weird, and you guys are gonna call me a chick or something, but since Thanksgiving I shaved. And now I feel like I'm growing jowls right here. I feel like my neck is getting fatter. Not any other part of me, but specifically my neck. Does my neck look fatter from last week when I shaved my beard?
Yeah, because you shaved.
No,
That's why I keep a beard.
I do. I feel like I'm like, when did my neck get so fat?
Oh, I ate too much. Too much turkey.
Well, I know. I think I ate too much, and then it went right to my neck.
You're turning into a turkey.
Thank you. And we were talking about turkey when you were gone too. Not turkey the food, but turkey the country.
Yeah.
Do you have any input about turkey the country? Do you give a crap?
What's going on with them?
They bombed Russia.
What do you mean? They actually bombed Russia?
No, they bombed the.
Or they just blew up that plane?
They blew up the plane that was flying over.
Oh, nothing's going to happen.
You don't think anything is going to happen? You
No.
think that's all overstated?
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
I think it's all done and settled.
Do you think that Putin is going to go burn that country to the ground?
No.
No.
See what it did already. This turkey does something else.
Oh no, Putin's going to. That's another reason I'm afraid to talk about Putin. It was about 8 years ago, and they took that polonium, and they poisoned that,
They
that
poisoned
agent in
that guy?
Great Britain.
Yeah.
They did what?
They poisoned some guy. They took radioactive stuff. They poisoned the guy in Ukraine with that polonium or whatever. They poisoned the guy in Great Britain. And I have an article at home that the CIA declassified that the guy who shot the Pope was a subcontractor of the KGB. I have it on my bulletin board at home.
Why do they want to shoot the Pope?
Oh, that was back like in 81?
That was in 81 or 84. When they shot John Paul II.
I don't even remember that. I think I was like 4.
You don't remember when they shot the Pope?
Uh-uh.
Didn't you feel a disturbance in the force?
Nah, I was too busy playing with my G.I. Joe guys. So I think I was like 5.
Was your mom and dad watching the news? They didn't tell you that they shot the Pope? They didn't start praying? They didn't start doing their rosary?
No. I don't know where they're at. I don't know what they're doing. I don't remember back then. Are you kidding me? I don't remember last week.
Yeah, you remember last week you were at
yeah,
work
that's right. I
every
was at
single
work.
day.
That's right.
Hey, Fred, do you want to work? No, I think I'll pass.
Yeah, you should come and work on the weekends. It's fun.
Yeah, I'll be sure to go on the other side of town with you. I'm sure I'll make a lot of friends. I'm sure they'd want to hear from
Russia's always been into poisoning people, huh?
me. Oh, yeah.
Maybe they'll just poison
But-
the whole country of Turkey.
But
Right?
yeah,
They'll poison their turkey.
They might be poisoning the country of Turkey. I posted online about they dropped phosphorus in Syria, and I thought that was funny. Not in a bad way about the poor Syrians, but if Putin was sitting here, he'd be like, Russia never poisoned anybody. It was America who started the dirty tricks in that country. Whatever country it is. They never respond to the accusations. Just like, Obama sweep. It's the same thing. Obama sweeps everything around. I'm not comparing him to Putin. I'm just saying that, they do their dirty tricks
Do
too.
you think World War III will start soon?
I think that the Turkey-Russia thing is the spark of World War III. I think
Who's UN? Isn't Turkey part of UN?
Turkey is part of NATO. Everybody is part of the UN.
everybody's in the UN.
There's nobody not in the UN because even Iran goes to the
Why
UN.
have a group of anything if everybody's included?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's the thing. In the UN, I remember it was about 5 years ago, the president of Iran came to America. He spoke at the UN and said, "Death to America." And, that's the ultimate in freedom of speech, is letting the Iranian president come to your country and say, "Death to America." I mean, hey, yay, freedom of speech. but he doesn't get freedom of speech because he's
was
not American.
Ahmadinejad?
Yeah, he can write freedom of speech into the Iranian constitution and then come over here.
Dennis Miller called him Aqua. What do you call it? Aqua Velvet?
I like Dennis Miller.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you have to be like an English major to figure out what he's talking about.
Yeah, some of his references are super obscure, but
Yeah, that's why I don't get it. I don't watch it.
oh, you love
Too
Dennis
smart
Miller.
for me.
You probably are one of Dennis Miller's writers.
Isn't he on HBO?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't watch him. I used to watch that guy who, was he on Comedy Central? What's his
Bill
name?
Maher,
Come on, no. The guy who just got the late night show.
David Chappelle.
No, the late show.
I'm never gonna guess this.
I can't even remember. So
Jimmy Fallon, Seth
No.
Meyers, David Letterman, Jay Leno,
Conan O'Brien.
Conan O'Brien.
Is it Conan O'Brien? I can't even remember now. Now you guys made me.
I don't even remember what the question was. So it's like late night talk show host, and then you're playing free association like we're playing Pictionary at home.
He does like a talk show like Bill Maher when he was on Comedy Central.
Talk show on Comedy
Was
Central.
it Comedy Central?
Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Jon Stewart. Pete, if anybody ever listens to this, they're probably shouting it to there. Jon Stewart, Jon Stewart. Yeah, I'm sorry it took me so long because, he's gone. And, I always thought of Jon Stewart as this guy who was kind of above the fray.
Yeah.
And then it's like literally 1 week after he's gone, he's on WWE. And I'm like, I didn't know Jon Stewart at all. Really? So I have all my notes all over the table, right? And Ted is he's got the Revolver magazine, so I'm going to bring this up because every week we bring up music and stuff. Now, Revolver magazine, they're like the heavy metal Rolling Stone. I like Revolver, okay? And I bought it to look at some other stuff in here but here's the lead story, right? You know who that guy is on Revolver, right? It's Eddie. It's Eddie from Iron Maiden. That's their mascot, right?
I didn't even.
When's the last Iron Maiden song that you can name?
I thought you meant it's Eddie Van Halen.
Oh, no.
Man, he looks bad.
Yeah. Eddie and Eddie Van Halen look very similar. The whole point is that I can't name one Iron Mountain song past Run to the Hills. And what was that, 84?
Long time.
So somehow Revolver magazine is depending on people to buy their magazine based on Iron Maiden off of a band that was recording 30 years ago. And what's the article about? Is it about new music? No. Frontman Bruce Dickinson opens up with his battle against cancer. Okay, now I'm sorry that he has cancer and I'm very sad about it. What?
Who wants to read that?
But that's my whole point. Who wants to read about... You either want to read about cancer, but you don't want to read about...
Maybe the Pope should kiss him.
Maybe a cure him. Cure the cancer. Super cure.
Number one, it depends on what type of cancer. Where, they kissed the baby on the head because he had brain cancer and they got rid of the cancer. Well, where's Bruce Dickinson's cancer? What if he's got, like, prostate cancer? You don't want the Pope kissing down there.
That'd be funny.
But Ted's got a big smile on his face. I think he's afraid to laugh. But my whole point is that I like this magazine, but I didn't buy it to read about Bruce Dickinson and his cancer scare. Because how rock and roll is that? Nobody wants... If you're depending on that content to sell your magazine, you might as well lock the doors. Now, if Iron Maiden... Yeah, Ted's laughing because
Somebody
of
else
different
should lock the doors.
Yeah, because Iron Maiden, if they got a great new album that rocks like 1984, that's what I want to hear, okay? Because this is kind of what I wanted to see, okay? Trivium. I don't know if you guys like Trivium or not.
So you don't want to listen to Bruce Dickinson?
No, I don't want to hear...
Piss and moan about his problems.
Yeah, if I want to hear about people, I'll ask my grandfather.
Maybe it's something sweet, though. Maybe he cut himself open and ripped the cancer out himself.
You know what? That would be the most metal thing you do. If Bruce Dickinson cut out the cancer himself and ripped it out with his bare hand, I would want to read about that. But I don't think that's what happened. And that's why I'm like, if that's what you're depending on, don't sell magazines anymore. Because like I said, that day has passed. And it's nothing personal against Bruce Dickinson. It's just like Trivium. I was talking about this. I like Trivium. I listened to samples of their new album. It sucks. I am not buying anything new from Trivium. I don't know what happened. I don't know if they all got... I think they all smoke a bunch of dope. And then they recorded a slow, mellow album.
Never heard of him.
You never heard of Trivium?
I don't think so.
Think of Metallica and Justice for All Days.
Yeah.
They did a Metallica cover that was spot on. Master of Puppets, great cover. Okay, Trivium doesn't do Metallica, but it's the same genre. If you know Metallica, you're not, you know.
Cool.
Yeah, I know you don't care about Trivium either.
No.
You don't care. I could read about all these bands on here. You don't care about Let Live. You know who they are.
No.
Trivium,
No.
Deaf Heaven.
No.
I wanted to like them, and I listened to them. Okay, I wanted to like them. I did not. And then Seven Dust.
Yeah.
Seven Dust has one good song. They're like a one-hit wonder of metal. And I'm like, then I felt like I was tricked. Like, why did I buy it? Because when I listened to the songs, I just threw the magazine across the table to Joe. But yeah, see, there's dead silence. Everybody's looking at my notes. You know, that's not good for the webcast.
No, I was waiting for you to go on.
No, it's just that when I bought it, you know, it was, I want to say it was $5, and I don't think I got $5 out of it.
Yeah, I don't. Why would you buy it?
Well, because I wanted to read about Trivium.
Just go on. I'm sure you could just find it.
And then
online.
yeah, but I don't. You can listen to the music online, but I like reading like new album reviews and.
I'm sure you can find reviews online too.
Well, yes.
Who buys magazines any day? Like you actually went to the store and bought
Wasn't this in the movie?
What?
Talking about who buys magazines?
Yes.
So you're like the only 1% person who.
I
buys
am the
magazines.
1%. I like
You
the.
actually get that delivered to your house?
No, I
You
went
go
to
to
the
the
store
store
and
and
bought
buy
it, and this is why I should have went to Revolver.com because I would have, you know, ignored that. Somebody's ringing now. Whose phone is that?
But yeah.
You know, we're gonna have to come in. We're gonna have to have a sign on the door that says all devices off.
Sorry.
At least it wasn't mine. Okay, so you don't want to talk about magazines anymore. Is that
Oh, no,
correct?
you can talk. It's.
Oh, I can talk about all
Wow.
magazines I want.
Well, I am the president, right?
So, yes, the president, do you want to talk about? Here's what I want to talk about. Our webcasts, we got like 12 views, right?
Sweet.
And so I went on there to show Ted, you know, that I put on the outline on stuff. And right underneath Beacon of Speech, there's Beacon the Cockatiel. And he's a bird, and he talks.
How
And
many,
it
how
got
many views does he have? Like
one-
3 million?
100,000 views for Beacon the Cockatiel. So what we want to do is we want to get on the coattails of that bird, okay? And we want people to we got to scam ourselves onto the, you know, my
So
daughter.
when they open that up, they'll see us be underneath it. Maybe they'll click
Yeah, maybe
on
they'll
us.
click over 1 in 1,000. That'll get us. My daughter keeps saying, she goes, "You got to do."
Maybe the bird will sue us for copyright.
Oh my! If we got sued by a bird, that would be it. That would be the last Beacon of Speech. It'd be like, oh my God, we're screwed now. But Beacon the Cockatiel is what we're competing with. And my daughter, she keeps saying, she goes, "Don't talk for an hour, hour and a half." And I said, well, right now we're like getting our feet wet, we're treading water, doing whatever your analogy is. You know, we're learning the craft, right? But she's like, what you need to do is have like 5-minute episodes and then do it like every day and then talk for 5 minutes and then talk about freedom of speech. Well, this is not for my daughter. My daughter is never ever, she's
Yeah, how old is she?
12.
12?
Yeah, and she's never going to listen. She's not going to listen to me for 10 seconds. She doesn't like clean up, like she'll drink something, she'll leave the cup on the table. I'll be like, put the cup on in the dishwasher. And she'll be like, leave me alone, Dad. She doesn't listen to me for 10 seconds. Tell her, take the cup into the kitchen. Why would she listen to me talk about this for 5 minutes? So I appreciate her help. You know, nobody has an attention span. But, you know, I'm not gearing my webcast to my 12-year-old daughter.
12-year-old kid.
So,
Did you tell her to be quiet and go clean her room?
yeah, go up and clean your room. You're mean, Dad. You're the meanest dad ever.
And then you say, you want to see mean? I'll show you mean.
Yeah, I'll show you mean. But now you can't even joke about that these days. They're like, this guy's beating on his kid. He said it on his webcast.
Good. Come take them away. Here, you can have them. You can have it. You can have her.
I've said it before. I like my kids. I got good kids, more or less. When they're not together, they're good kids. When they're together, they fight a lot, right?
Yeah.
But they're good kids, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's every parent. I'm not giving any secrets, any hunt secrets away.
Yeah.
But I
like my kids. I'm just not going to tell somebody.
No,
I'm
you
not
like
going to have somebody tell me how I'm going to raise them.
No, you You like your kid.
Get out of line. I tell her to be quiet. And she better be quiet.
But your story is you're having twins. You're having the magical two.
Yeah.
And so now you will have a new level of stress that most people in the world do not know.
Yeah.
Aren't you looking forward to that?
I'll lay down the iron fist in that household. No BS around there.
Ted, listening to Joe and the big smile on his face doesn't make you want to go out and have kids. Just find a random woman.
Yeah.
There's lots of women who are looking for sugar daddies, and we tell you this all the time, Ted, and you don't, you just got to lower your standards.
Lower my standards.
Yeah, you need to find a nice woman who's only looking. There's lots of women out there with kids. They're just looking for a roof over their head.
Yeah, you could claim up to 6 kids, so you could get a tax credit of 6.
And if you want, because you have more than one floor in your house, right?
Yeah.
You could always run a scam of like a family upstairs and a family downstairs, and that's more people you could put on your tax return.
Move into my palatial estate in Garfield.
In Garfield.
You would be like the people over the Islander that have like 10 wives and 30 kids.
You know what? Every time I cut through the Islander, I always get stuck by a bus, and there's like 40 kids there, and I'm like, where are all these kids coming
I'm amazed though over there. They're all out in the summertime doing something.
Well, that's nice.
You ever notice that?
Yeah, but that's wholesome. That's the right way to. Those kids aren't locked in their apartments with the electronics. They're walking around the pond.
You never see any like white people around. They're all inside playing on their.
Yeah, I did notice that. Yes, there's not a lot of diversity there. Okay, well, before we get into trouble, we're going down the wrong road. We're going to get ourselves into trouble. Okay, so I'm going to change because I'm looking at the time.
Yeah, you gotta keep on your format.
Yeah, I got to keep on format. Sports. We didn't talk about any sports.
Stop leading us astray.
Yeah, Joe's pointing something.
That's what I want to talk about. Ted made some good predictions.
I know Ted did make good predictions, but I put it for the end of the year because I didn't think they'd come true in 1 week.
What were they?
Johnny Manziel, you were just like a game late on it though. Remember you said he was gonna get in trouble for alcohol again and be suspended.
Yeah. Well, what had happened is, I think it was Beacon of Speech 5. Ted made the prediction that Johnny Manziel is going to get caught partying. And so I said, okay, by the end of the year. So I put on the prediction sheet, and then I put it like January 8th at the end of the season, sometime before the end of the season. Well, 1 week later, the prediction already came true. I dated it for January, but I mean, he screwed up. He lied to the coach. He got demoted to third string. Everything you said came true. Now, my thing didn't come true because I said that he was going to get injured because he's so little. I thought he'd blow out his ACL or he'd get his head knocked in the next week. Well, you can't.
McCown.
Yeah, McCown, who every 2 weeks he's got broken rib. Oh, they're just sore. Oh, now he's got dislocated shoulder. Now he's out. And before the dislocated shoulder was his ankle. Before that was his concussion.
Now he has a broken collarbone, doesn't he?
Oh, did I say something different? I'm sorry. Yeah, collarbone. You're right.
Yeah, I feel bad for him, man.
Yeah, that guy got the crap beat out of him.
I feel bad for all Browns quarterbacks.
I feel bad for Browns fans.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
I feel bad for Browns fans who actually pay to go see them.
Well, that's the whole thing. And we said it before. Ted has never had season tickets, correct? Even when you were a kid, your dad or stepdad didn't have?
No.
My dad, he doesn't like crowds, and he said, we're not going to a Browns game. You can watch it on TV. Right? And back in the day, sometimes it would get blacked out, and so you just listen to it on the radio.
Yeah.
Joe had season tickets. What years did you have season tickets?
I don't know.
It was like 2006 to 2013, right? For like 5 or 7 years or something?
My kid was born in 2011. So like 2005 to 2011?
2005 to 2011, yeah. So you had season tickets like the whole time they sucked.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Except for the 1 year they went to the playoffs. What was that, 2007?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, they went to the playoffs once. They all signed big contracts and they all sucked again.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, you know what, whatever.
Yeah, that's why I hardly made it to the games.
And
that one Monday night game when they had that Monday night game, 5 years ago or something against the Giants?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I shut up fourth quarter. Bombed out of my mind.
You were drinking at a Browns game? That's very
You know
un-Browns
what's
like.
bad is what we used to do before we go to the game. We'd hit the bar because we'd go down tailgate, and then we'd go to the bar because we'd watch like the first 5-8 minutes to see how they're doing. If they suck, we decided to stay at the bar because we knew it was gonna be a shitty game, and why stay down there and buy $10 beers when we could stay at the bar and buy $3 beers.
That's nice.
You were also at that Blizzard Bowl with who was
Oh
it,
yeah,
Buffalo?
I was at the bottle throwing game too.
You were at Bottle Gate?
Yeah.
Bottlegate.
Did you throw a
No,
bottle?
I
Oh,
didn't.
wait. Cover the mic. Don't answer yes or no. Did you throw any bottles?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you're lying. You threw bottles.
No, I didn't. My buddy didn't hit this kid like right in front of us. He was so drunk, he threw like 5 feet at this kid in front of us. I'm like, really? Really?
Nice. Nothing like hitting kids at the Browns game.
Yeah.
But that's another reason my dad wouldn't take me. He said, those people at the Browns games are crazy.
Oh yeah, I would never take my kid. Never.
But I've heard that on the radio. A lot of people don't take their kids. So, my dad, he was not used as an excuse. Lots of people didn't want to take their kids to Browns games because it's not, kid friendly. So,
Yeah, family zone, and that still, I wouldn't even take them up there. To the family zone.
yeah, I think the family zone was a scam because you still got to walk from your car
Mm-hmm.
over the bums and over the, drunk people in the, alleyways or whatever.
Yep, through the parking lot where everyone's tailgating and chaos is going on.
I've actually never been to that stadium.
Really?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, never been there.
I've never been there for the new stadium. I've never been there for a regular season game, but I have been there for preseason games.
This whole entire time they've been back, you've never been there either for a regular season
Nope,
game?
only preseason games.
Holy crap.
Because I could always get either somebody's giving away tickets or somebody was, or I think we won tickets at one time. And but I'm like a real game. I never got to go to a real game since they've been back.
I was supposed to go Monday.
Why'd you go Monday?
Because my buddy, he didn't want to, he was trying to sell me the ticket like full price or whatever. His dad was selling it. Dad didn't want to go. Well, my dad said just give him a price. I said, okay, $1. He was like, no, really? I'm like, well, I ain't got the money really right now. I think it was like a $60 ticket or something. I said, about $60 to dump out a ticket.
You don't want to pay $60 to watch 2-8 Cleveland versus 3-8 Baltimore.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, you can pay him back a little bit here and there.
Well, but wait a second.
When you get the money, you can just pay
You
him.
didn't want to go see the awesome Baltimore Ravens with Joe Flacco? Oh wait, it's like he was injured.
Oh, it wouldn't mattered anyway.
You didn't want to see Ray Rice? Oh, that guy's in trouble.
Yeah, what's he
You didn't
doing
want
now?
to see Ray Lewis? Oh, that guy's retired. Oh, who can honestly, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. Can you name one Baltimore Raven right now if you would have watched that Browns game? Name one Baltimore Raven that was in that game.
I don't know.
What about you? Can you name a Raven?
Matt Schaub, is it?
Oh,
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, you're right. Yeah, Matt Schaub, because he used to be quarterback of the Texans. You win.
Yeah, he was pretty good too.
Yeah,
And then he
I couldn't remember his name.
you win. What's Ted's prize?
all right.
And he gave him one of the props, and the prop's not even making noise. I can't even hear that on the headphones.
You can't hear that?
No, all I'm hearing is my bad ear. The last month or two, I've been getting a lot more feedback in my hearing. So if it's quiet, I can hear. If it's noisy, I'm getting the. It's probably the same sound as the feedback I hear in my ears. That's why I can't hear it.
That's not good.
No, well, it's not good because I listen to too much metal. It's my own damn fault.
You should take care of that.
Actually, no, it's not my own damn fault. You know what it's from? It's from driving the diesel vehicle and then all that white noise. So I think I'll be suing my company for reparations for my hearing loss. It wasn't music. I don't even like music. So it was all the diesel vehicle in my eardrums. No, but back to sports. I'm going to talk about a bunch of sports you don't care about. So you ready to insert your 2 cents?
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay. Now, in the Premier League, our team, Swansea City, they're tanking. Yeah, and Joe's laughing at us because we're talking Premier League soccer. Swansea City, they're getting close to relegation, so they're talking about firing their coach. And the whole point is, it doesn't matter if you're in Great Britain, if you're
They're
in the
getting
NFL,
close to, what was that word?
relegation. The bottom 3 teams get relegated to the lower league. So Swansea's starting to go towards the bottom. They were in the middle of the pack all year. So they're talking about the coach, firing the coach. I just want to say, no matter what, whether it's baseball, football, hockey, soccer, all these multi-million-dollar leagues, you start to lose. It doesn't matter. You're talking about firing the coach. That's what they're talking about on talk radio. That's what they're talking about, on the blogs, everything. It's universal at this point. Just like, we talk about the Browns, they talk about Johnny Manziel, but every talk show I've listened to, every single one in the last week, they've talked about firing the Browns coach. Is that right, Joe? Have you heard we're going to fire the Browns coach, fire the Browns coach?
No, what would they? Start all over again?
Yeah, so you think they should keep Patton for another year?
Yeah.
Oh, so you are going on. I'm writing this down. I got a prediction sheet. Okay, I have an empty prediction sheet. Are you predicting Mike Patton will have a job at the end of the season?
I think so.
I'm writing this down. I'm threatening you right now.
Yeah.
Didn't we do this a couple weeks ago?
Me and you did it.
Okay.
But Joe wasn't here that day. Okay, I'm writing this down.
Yeah.
Mike Patton will be fired. The Browns coach.
No, he won't be.
Oh, I'm sorry. Will not be. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Everybody says he will be fired, but Joe says he will not be.
No, you're going to start all over scratch again?
Mike Patton. So you would definitely be in the minority. Will not be fired. And your exact quote is,
get rid of Ray Farmer.
why would you fire the coach? Would you?
Yeah,
We're going to have fun with this in
again.
January because every single talk radio station in the city is saying they're going to fire him the day after the season
look
ends.
At this talk radio in this city.
Well, okay, why would you fire the coach? Okay, why would you fire the coach? My phone's ringing again. Okay, that's going to have to wait. Why would you fire the coach? From Joe Kaufman. Prediction was made. Every single person in city, every single person in the city says he's fired at the end. I feel like a teacher writing on the blackboard. At the end of season.
So every time the coach does bad, you're gonna just keep on firing somebody.
But that's my whole point.
Every single coach, and we're gonna have no coaches left.
But that's why it doesn't matter, and that's why we were talking about the Premier League. This is the team we adopted, right? They start losing, like fire the coach, right? It doesn't matter what league it is.
Why not fire the players?
Because a lot of them have guaranteed contracts. In the NFL,
I know. I'm just saying.
In the NFL, almost nobody has guaranteed contracts, but I think Premier League soccer has guaranteed contracts, just like in baseball and NBA.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you can fire people in Premier League with cause.
Yeah.
Okay, today's date is 12/2/15, and the last game is January whatever. So reveal date will be 1, and we'll just put 1/8/15.
Wait, was they hired 2 years ago?
And we are going to write Joe
Yeah, this
Kaufman.
is his second season.
Joe Kaufman. Again, every single person in the city says he's fired on the day after the season. So here, 1/8/15. That's one prediction. We don't have any predictions that came up this week, so we don't have any predictions from the past, so we're clear on that.
Do you remember what our prediction was? Did we say that they were going to fire him?
I think we did.
Yeah.
But we didn't think they should, but we thought they would. Because we joined the herd. You know what I mean? Well, of course they're going to fire him because everybody says they're going to fire him. Well, they must know something. Me and you and Joe, we're not in the Browns office. So we don't have, all we hear is what we hear on talk radio or in the newspaper or whatever. Well, we're not in the building. So they must know something because they're in the building.
Do you really know something?
Well, but that's the whole point. Do they really know something? Or are they like worse than me? They just come on and make stuff up. You know what I mean? At least I try to have an angle, or if I don't know something, I try and say I don't know, but this is why I speculate, or this is what I think, or this is how it should be, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Joe's on the phone. We adopted a team in the KHL, the Continental Hockey League. Okay, and I put yours over there. I got mine over there. And number one story in KHL is two KHL players, and I don't want to butcher the name, so I got to read it. The game was between Slovan and Ugra Conti Mensik. Oh my God, I know I messed that up. But so they're playing normal hockey, and it's NHL level. They're somewhere between AHL level and NHL level. The one guy got checked, and he flipped over, and his skate went into the air. When his skate went into the air, his skate slit the throat of the other Russian player, right? And I saw it, right, on, I got it from Yahoo, okay?
Yeah.
So I got the video from Yahoo. So the guy, he doesn't go to the ground, okay? He grabs his neck, and, if you were looking on a camera, you could see, he grabs his neck. He skates over to the bench. He calls the trainer over. The trainer's like, oh, we better stitch that up, right? Luckily, it didn't hit his jugular. It didn't hit the side. It hit, like, the front, like, right by his Adam's apple.
Ooh.
So it sliced right across. Well, they stitched him right up and made sure that they didn't hit anything. But it reminded me of when I was a kid and Clint Malerchuk. Do either one of you guys know who Clint Malerchuk is?
No.
He was the goalie for the Buffalo Sabres, right? And he was in the crease, and the crease is the blue area right in front of the goal, and he went out to get the puck. Well, one of the defenders for Buffalo knocked the forward of the other team towards Clint, and the skate sliced his jugular vein, right? And I remember watching it on TV, and it was on the news, because they're like, don't watch this if you have a squeamish stomach. But it was on the news. It wasn't on, like, ESPN back in the day.
Yeah.
Clint Malerchuk grabs his neck, falls to his knee, and blood starts squirting out of his neck, and he falls on the ground in a pool of blood, right? Well, people in the arena saw it. They're passing out, right? And Clint Malerchuk got like 200 stitches in his neck, and they said the trainer ran out, grabbed his jugular, and was holding it because it had been sliced. And they said if he would have let go, he would have died. But they hurried up, and they said the trainer saved his life. And it was the worst thing I'd ever seen in hockey since Clint Malerchuk. And that had to be the mid-'80s when that happened, maybe early '80s.
So it doesn't happen often then?
No, it doesn't. But Clint Malerchuk, whenever I think of bad injuries, I always think of that is the worst injury, other than dying, But in football, when people break their neck, they're just laying there. They don't move. You don't see it, and that's part of the mystique of football. You don't see the injury.
Yeah.
With Clint, when he's laying in a pool of his own blood, his blood is congealing and freezing on the ice. It's graphic like a horror movie. And it was the same thing with this guy from the KHL, right? They slice the front. One camera stays with the action. The other camera follows the guy to the bench, takes his hand away from his neck, and you can see where it's sliced across his neck.
See his tongue falling out?
His tongue was not falling out.
Falling out through his throat.
But again, you would have thought it was a bigger story. I found it on Yahoo.
What do they call it? Colombian necktie?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got Colombian next time. But that's why I'm like, but the headline is KHL player fined, and it's in quotation marks. Needs
fined?
only well, here's the article right
Said
here.
he was fined.
Yeah. Oh, no, he's fine. Needs only stitches after taking skate blade to the throat.
Was it a penalty?
No, because the guy was flipping, and there's no penalty for kicking it up, and he didn't purposely do it.
He didn't pull a Billy Madison where he took his skate off and tried to stab
Yeah,
him.
it wasn't like Billy Madison. But yeah, if you don't see if you get a chance, all you have to do is Google KHL player, KHL player injured neck, and you can Google it and see it for yourself. You don't have to,
You had
have
some
me.
tablets for us.
Yeah, you know what? That's going to be our next expense. We're buying tablets so we all can look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of the pictures, when I said, because I'm going to send this in, or I'll post it tomorrow, is we need to use this as a reference instead of as the microphone, the computer. That way I can reference it and look at it. and stuff. So,
Yeah. How do you do that?
well, no, you can do anything on the laptop. Like I said, the movie's on the laptop, but I don't like to play with it because see the sound file. Those are all our voices.
Yeah, I know that. I'm not dumb.
But I'm always afraid because one day I erased half of our show. So I'm afraid to play with it and then accidentally erase the microphone. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So, but yeah, so Columbus, they're also not in last. They're slowly climbing their way out of the basement. So, and Cleveland State, they lost to like the number 3 team in the country, our basketball team that we adopted.
Who did you adopt? What
We
basketball
adopted
team?
Cleveland State, and they won their first game. But I'm trying to think now. Cleveland State, I think, lost to Maryland, who was number 3 in the country at the time.
Yeah.
But it was funny because Ohio State was playing. I guess there's 318. The same day that Cleveland State lost,
Yeah.
Ohio State was playing Division I college basketball, and there were 318 teams in Division I college basketball, and Ohio State was playing the 318th team in the United States. So I'm like, talk about scheduling,
Did they lose?
cupcakes. No, they won. But I'm trying to remember what school it was. Like, I'm trying to jog my memory. It was like Howard or it was some
Howard
traditional, not Howard Hanna. It was some traditional black college. But you know how they always get
Phoenix
accused
University?
of, yeah.
Online Phoenix University.
I used to think there was a college, IUPUI, and I always thought they were no good, but, supposedly they're a good college for basketball.
Yeah.
I know, but you don't care about any other sports unless it's the Browns, correct?
No, not really. I like the Cavs.
You like the Cavs?
Yeah.
So you don't care
The older
about-
I get, the more I lose interest in sports.
You don't care about any of our teams that we adopted.
I don't even remember who were they. The Stovikians.
Yeah, we don't we adopted the
Shawakins?
Russian team. We adopted Cleveland State. We adopted the team from Wales, Swansea City.
Swansea, that's it. Swansea City. Swansea. That's funny. Why did you just adopt the teams just to see how they would do?
Yeah, because I was sick of talking about the Browns and the Indians, and if you listen to Cleveland radio, they talk about Johnny Manziel for 200 hours a week, and
Talk
then
about sports and movies. I heard what's his name?
Kenny Lofton?
Yeah, did you hear that today?
Yeah, I heard that.
no, what about
after
Kenny Lofton?
baseball? He got into the movies or whatever,
Uh-huh.
so he's like an independent filmmaker,
Yeah,
and he's making a whole bunch of movies in Cleveland, and he's trying to get another. What did he say? It was a big movie in Cleveland. It was a part over something.
Yeah, he's trying to. I guess it's hard getting funding. You
Yeah.
know.
do you think Kenny Lofton will buy our movie and then spot us some money for our second movie?
Maybe he won't buy it. Maybe he'll just give you money to make another one.
I should talk to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you think Kenny
Send him an
Lofton
email.
cared? Yeah, I'll shoot Kenny Lofton an email. I'm sure he'll respond to me
Sure,
right
he'll
away.
get it, right?
Yeah.
Or somebody who checks his email will get it.
His people, Kenny
Just
Lofton's
keep on hounding
entourage.
him. Sooner or later, he's gonna have to answer you, right?
I could become Kenny Lofton's stalker. That would be my new goal in life. Hey, Kenny Lofton, you want to
Maybe
fund my
they'll just-
movie about indoor soccer?
Maybe he'll just get sick of hearing from you and just give you what you want.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
Here, give this guy whatever you want so he stops.
People never give me what I want. They just tell me to go away.
Yeah, I get that a lot too. Nothing ever works out for me.
What are you talking about? You're Mr. Luck. Do you know what the chances are? I'm being serious here. Do you know what the chances are of having twins with no fertility drugs? It's like astronomical.
What about what do you?
You
call it?
like won the twin lottery.
What about identical twins?
I think. Oh, I don't know what's the different odds between identical twins and.
I have no idea. Well, what's the other one? Is it fraternal or?
Well, for there's fraternal twins and there's identical twins. The chances of having twins are 1 in 500 or 1 in 100, whatever it is. But the chance of having identical twins is like 1 in 1,000 or 2,000, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So it's even steeper.
What is identical? The egg splits?
Yeah, the egg splits and the identicals, two same people. Fraternal, you can like I have cousins who are fraternal, boy and girl. So they're not identical because one's a boy and one's a
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah.
Well, this is a brave new world, so in theory maybe they are. But
So you're gonna have identical?
Yeah.
Wow.
you don't know if you're having identical, do you?
Yeah, they're
Until they
identical.
really, you know that.
Yeah, it's one egg.
So they'll be able to play tricks on you, like, oh, he did it, or you know.
No, I just slap both of them. Line all of them up in a row. Bow, 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 bow. Going down the line.
I think the Three Stooges.
My uncle used to do that because he had like 7 kids or whatever. So one would get in trouble and another would get in trouble. So you just line them all up. There, you want to X out, you all get it.
Yeah, guilt by association.
Oh, nice.
But no, yeah, they're identical.
Wow.
I did not know they were for sure. I didn't know you could tell they were identical in the womb.
Oh, you went to some specialist at Cleveland Clinic. Yeah,
You went to a specialist to see if they were?
Yeah, we had to go get this special EKG machine that costs like $30,000.
Oh.
Is that what you call it? The thing that they rub on the belly? What the hell do you call that thing? Ultrasound.
Just so you know,
yeah.
if they rub it on her belly, it's an ultrasound. If they rub it on your belly, it's a scam. You got some doctor who likes to look the way you're cut.
They're checking out my poop babies.
Yeah, yeah. We don't want to talk about poop babies. You said you haven't been feeling good today, so
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
yeah. But let's not talk about your bowel movements. Yeah, we'll get shut down right away. Yeah, please listen to my webcast, and we're talking about your. Yeah, we'll be a big hit.
So yeah, we found out that they're identical twins, and then I got the bill for like the $40,000 ultrasound.
What are you talking about? You don't get bills. You have state-of-the-art insurance here.
Oh, it's like we try to bill your insurance, and this is what it comes out to, but we're still trying to bill your insurance. That's what they sent me.
Oh.
The ultrasound, it was expensive. It was like $10,000 or something.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
It's crazy. I mean, she has to go every 2 weeks for that.
Is that why you worked every day over this Thanksgiving vacation?
Well, no, I just don't pay my bills anyway.
Oh,
so
fair enough.
They can't really come after you for medical bills, right?
I don't think so.
They can't garnish your wages.
I don't think they can garnish it, but I am not a lawyer.
No? I thought that's what you were doing in college.
No. Do you really want to know what I did in college?
What'd you do?
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. Just give me 2 seconds. When I was in college, I went to college and I didn't know what I wanted to do. Okay? And my dad thought it would be a great life lesson if I worked while I was in college, to pay for college, and then I would appreciate the value of $1. And me and you have talked about this, Ted.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to college all day long and got my psych degree. And then in the evening, I was working at Taco Bell all evening long. So I would work between.
You study on those kids, huh?
What was that?
You study on those kids with your psych degree.
Oh
right?
yeah. I was studying on I was seeing what not to do, and also I was playing indoor soccer and I got like 3 concussions. So now I'll end up like all the NFL players,
Yeah, but you don't get that hard in soccer though.
I probably did not get it, and even if I only had 3 concussions, well then, it's not like Bernie Kosar who I had a concussion every other week that I played.
Yeah, maybe 2 in one game.
Yeah, so I for sure had 3, and I think I had 4 concussions because one I had playing hockey. Okay, I think I had 2 playing soccer, but one I'm not for sure. The other one I know for sure, and then one I for sure had a concussion when I had the car accident.
Yeah.
So 3 or 4 concussions. I did not have more than 3 or 4 concussions. There was no other, I did not have 100 concussions. I did not, I did not have a Joe Hayden concussion where 6 weeks later I couldn't go to work. You know what I mean? I had a concussion, and 2 days later it's like, well, you can still come make tacos, right? Meat, lettuce, cheese. I'm like, yeah, I got it. Meat, lettuce, cheese. I can handle that.
I think I can handle that.
Yeah, so.
I remember I got one. I think I was out for like 2 days. I slept for like 18 hours. I was out. I smashed into a wall on my snowboard.
Oh, so it was a snowboarding concussion.
Yeah.
It wasn't like somebody gave you $5 and said, go jump in that wall.
Oh, no. I wasn't paying attention. Smashed into a wall. Head first. I literally seen stars.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
See,
It was a good time.
So did you go to the doctor or?
No, my head was killing me, and I went to the bar and drank, which probably wasn't a good idea because my head hurt. And then I went home and I slept for like 18 hours.
Dude, yeah, that's what you're not supposed to do. Just
why
so you
why
know,
did they
'cause-
tell you not to do that?
Because in theory, because I want to say I did the same thing when I had my hockey concussion. I went home and slept for like 14 hours.
Yeah.
But supposedly after a concussion, if you go to sleep, sometimes you don't wake up.
Oh, well.
And you're not supposed to, after 8 hours, you're supposed to wake them up. If you still have the symptoms, you got to make sure you see a doctor, blah, blah, blah. So I'm a little shaky on, I know that if you shine light in the pupils, the pupils will be different sizes. There's other.
Well, how long are you supposed to stay up for?
Oh, you don't have to stay up, but you just say you have the concussion at 9 at night. You don't go home or go right to bed. Like at midnight, go to bed, and then at 8 in the morning, make sure you're up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
What happens if there's no one around to wake you up?
well,
Like
then
in my case,
well, yeah.
you sleep 18 hours.
So, but don't take. I'm not a medical expert.
No, I don't
Maybe
care.
I'm wrong.
Fine now.
But yeah, I
Maybe.
just know you're not supposed to sleep for 18 hours after a concussion. That's what you're not supposed to do.
What's
But we
concussions
can't.
do though? They give you headaches and shit
Does
long
what?
term. Like concussions. Will they maybe give you migraines?
Uh,
Well, not like afterwards.
yeah,
Maybe you get so many.
you can get migraines and.
Because I get migraines, man, so bad where it's like someone's hit me in my head.
But the whole thing is
Someone's
that.
hit my head with this thing. I just
But people sometimes they get concussions and they don't have headaches, and some people have headaches and never had a concussion. So it's not a direct correlation. But the more concussions you have, the more problems you have. See again, Bernie Kosar.
Yeah.
So, but there's rule of thumbs. Don't go to sleep. Check the eyes. If you throw up, it causes a lot of people who get concussions throw
that
up.
happened too.
Yeah. See,
I smashed my head with a beam in a trade school. The beam was like, I don't know, it was long. It was probably like 8 feet long. It was probably a good 100 pounds.
how did you
But
hit
we
your
were
head on a
smashing-
beam?
We were smashing shit. It was cut off. The
Uh-huh.
beam was cut off, so we were using it to smash stuff in the back. We were just bored. We were teenagers, so we were just seeing what we could smash with this big beam. We
Okay.
smashed something, and it slipped out of my hands, and you see this big scar on top of my head?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 14 or 15 staples down my head.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
I am taking my hand and I'm cutting Joe out of our picture. Did you ever do anything like this when you were a kid, Ted?
No, I never did anything.
You never
like
took a beam and hit your friend with it in the head?
No.
Okay, Joe, we're back.
Well, no, we didn't hit each other with it. We were smashing stuff in the back.
Oh,
We
okay.
were seeing what we could crush with this beam. So we would get stuff like, I don't know, it was like coils and stuff. We would take it and we see what we could smash with this thing.
Oh, so it was more of an accident that you hit
Yeah,
your friend with
yeah.
the
Well, I didn't. I hit myself.
or when
with
he
it.
hit you.
No, I hit myself.
When you
I
hit
was
yourself.
smashing stuff with the beam, and
Okay.
it slipped out of my hands and it clocked me right in the head.
Well, now I don't feel so bad by getting a concussion playing hockey.
Yeah.
Because at
At
least,
least you got to do it playing hockey. I was doing something stupid.
one of these days, maybe we'll have a concussion show. We'll bring in an expert and we'll have a neurologist and we'll run tests on me and Joe.
Hey, you know brain doctor, right?
No,
There you go.
my brother-in-law is a neurosurgeon.
Oh, whatever. He should know.
Oh, is he
something
like
about brain,
Ben Carson? Isn't that what Ben Carson?
I think that my brother-in-law would be the white Ben Carson.
Does he know Ben Carson?
Why doesn't he run for president?
He should run for president. He is very good at how things work. So, and I think he's a good neurosurgeon, but he never did brain surgery on me. So maybe I
But
don't
I
know.
guess he's good enough. If he's allowed to do surgery, brain surgery, I'm guessing he's a good surgeon.
Yeah, I
don't think
I
just
just
let any jokes
yeah,
about
exactly.
brain
I
surgery.
assume he's a good brain surgeon. You never hear of a bad one. They're like, oh, well, we can't get another one. So I assume he's a good brain surgeon, and that's just an assumption on my part.
Is he on Angie's list? Or?
Yeah, he's on Angie's list. Don't go. Well, he lives in another state. So, but like I said, as far as I know, he's a good brain surgeon, and maybe he is like Ben Carson. Maybe I think his politics are probably similar, not exact, but I have a feeling they're probably in the same ballpark.
Yeah.
So, I don't think he was in the armed services. So I don't think he leans to the left in his beliefs.
Is he a medic?
I don't think he was a medic. I think he was a officer.
Mm.
So I don't think he was like our medic that we had that we know. You know, Joe's laughing because we know of a medic that was in the Gulf War, and we're not sure that they, you know, didn't try and trick him into defecting. Hey, look, there's an Iraqi. Go run over there and see how he's doing, and then they run the other way. So
That's a big life change.
what?
Being an officer going to a brain surgeon.
Well, no, he was an officer while he was. What happened is he became brain surgeon, but the whole time he was an officer and he was in the
Going to
reserves. So because he had like a doctoral degree, I don't think he was ever a medic.
Yeah.
So I don't think he was on the bottom working his way up. I think he was
Gotcha.
working his way through school. You know, I can tell this is a good podcast or webcast because Joe's yawning.
No, it's been a long day. I didn't go to bed till 2 in the morning. I woke up at like 7:30. So.
I'm still not buying it. So, on that happy note, if you're yawning, my wife keeps trying to text me.
Just once you go home, you get dinner.
We're going to wrap this up. We're going to do the last two things. I want to go on the record. Everywhere I go, I hear about Adele. I hate Adele. That new song, Hello. I listened to it today and made me want to barf. Okay?
I don't
Everybody.
know who Adele is.
You don't know who Adele is? Well, then you're lucky. Okay? She's going to be top 10 albums of the year on every single list. Cleveland's list, Rolling Stone.
Is this a prediction? Or?
This is my prediction. Okay? Why prediction was made? Because Adele is not about music. It's all about hyping crap. When I went and looked online about that song Hello, 550 million views for Adele. Okay?
Wait. How many?
550 million.
550 million?
Yeah, to watch her song Hello, which was pure crap. That made me want to barf.
Adele, I'm trying to think who this broad is. Was she on Saturday Night Live not too
Yes,
long ago?
she was the girl on Saturday Night Live.
Like weird hair?
Yeah, all that hair on Saturday Night Live. That's Adele. Yeah, she's on Saturday Night Live.
Okay, my wife was watching it for a second, then I had to change it.
So my prediction is she's going to be on every top 10 list. So at the end of the year, we'll bring in top 10 lists and see if Adele's on it.
She had weird hair on there?
Was it that one, or was she have black hair?
No, you were right. It was a weird hair girl. I'm sure
Was
it
it
was
the
her.
one that Trump was on?
Yeah, was it that one?
Because I don't think that was Adele.
She was on Saturday Night Live within the
Okay,
last month.
Did she cover her face with the hair? I don't know. Let's forget about it.
Yeah, I
Go
know who
ahead.
you're talking about, and I don't know. I don't think that's Adele.
Well, I don't
then
care
know who
because
she
she's
is.
all hype. My prediction is at the end of the year, she will be on all the top 10 lists because of hype. I could name 100 albums. Maybe I'll do it. 100 albums better than Adele. Okay, I'm putting that in my 100 albums better than Adele. Okay,
That's not
better.
gonna be in your top 10.
What was it?
That's not gonna be in your top 10.
I should be. She is not going to be in my top 10. I can tell you right now, she will not be in my top 10. Better than Adele.
Does your kids like her?
I think they like whatever's on Q104. So if she's on Q104, they like her.
Yeah.
So that's my prediction. So we got a prediction from Joe, a prediction from Fred, and you know what? We'll push this to next week. It's top 10 false modern gods. We're going to talk about that because we were talking about miracles. So we'll push this to next week. It's an article I wrote for top 10s. And where's the date on here? Oh, I didn't print the date. I have to put the date that I had that published, but that's my list. So,
Publish that?
well, I didn't publish it. Top10s.net. I used to write for them, and this is
is
my article. Yes, I told you this before. I got like 36 articles
You
published.
still write for them?
No, they got rid of me.
Really?
Yeah, they said I sucked.
Did they really say that?
Yes.
Why don't you go write for somebody else? That's pretty cool, though. You get stuff published out there.
Yes, it was cool until they told me I sucked and they told me to go somewhere else. Go get another job.
Do they pay you?
Yeah, they did pay me.
Oh, that was awesome.
They didn't pay me a lot, but
Yeah.
at least they paid me. So, and I liked writing for them. I like coming up with. A part of the thing is that they have lists. They have, and me and you talked about this on one of the other episodes, Ted. They have lists that have like 1 million hits, right?
Yeah.
and I think my top list had like 6,000 hits. So my list, at the end of the day, whether they liked me or didn't like me, I think it's a moot point. You'd have to ask the editor if they like me or didn't like me. But at the end of the day, I ain't get enough hits. I ain't get enough traffic to my top tens.
Still 6,000.
Yeah, it's still
For somebody not knowing who you are.
Yeah. But like I said, I like those guys, and they're very nice to me, and I appreciate the opportunity. So hopefully it wasn't personal. Hopefully they weren't like, you suck. Hopefully it was just like a business decision. You don't get enough hits on your page.
Well, you guys are getting more hits. Make your articles better.
Yeah, make better. Thank you. Thank you. You know what? You're gonna make a perfect president. You're gonna make a perfect president of our webcast.
Thanks. Let's do better.
Beacon of speech. Your leadership. Do better. Write better articles. On that happy note, everybody.
You need to try harder.
Yeah, try harder. I told you to try harder, and no, you didn't try
To
harder.
apply yourself.
Joe, it's always good to have you. It's always an honor to have you here. Ted, it's always an honor to have you here.
It's always an honor to be here.
It's always an honor to do Beacon of Speech, and to be honest with you, I missed it last week, and hopefully my throat is good, and we can get back to every week.
We didn't do it last week?
No, because of the holiday, and my
yeah.
throat has been totally shredded. I coughed one time, and like 4 times, I had to stop speaking because I was afraid I was going to cough again. No coughing. That's the number 1 rule. I forgot my water.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, you have a great week, and thanks for listening.